All right, welcome back. We are going to see about exploring the road. I think our plan was to, well, it's my plan, I guess. I was going to go travel this road and hopefully get this map fragment and fill out the rest of this corner of the map. So yeah, basically we need to just follow the road out of town and see where it leads. This is actually some of my favorite parts of the game. You know, I don't care about fighting stuff sometimes. I just want to take a road trip. Oops, see a golden... Ooh. That's no good. So you might be able to bring your horse back? Okay. Sometimes if it's too soon, you've got to spend a potion, a health potion, to get... Am I out of range? Hopefully. Maybe not. As I'm staring at it coming right at me. Maybe it has to happen in combat for you to need to spend a potion. Okay, now I think I'm out of range. So here's a, let's get that bonfire. But yeah, this is a sort of a creepy little village here. So we've seen these items around the world, but here they've taken to decorate them in sort of a weird culty sort of way. You know what, let's stick to the plan. We'll definitely be coming back this way at some point. Sort of love the look of these fractured windmills. They still have enough to catch the wind and turn, but not enough to... I think I'm going the wrong way. Can I get there? Is this just a health potion? Nope. All right. Yeah, that's the thing though, right? The more stuff we collect, the stronger we are. So stupidly, I was doing some other things tonight, and while I was doing those things, I installed Morrowind on my computer. It's been a while since I played that one. I'm not sure I'll actually get to it, but I figured I would take a look and start figuring out like how mods for it work. That's one I tried back, I think I mentioned on the original Xbox, and I've always felt a little guilty having not played more of it. Can't tell if they're guarding something to the right there. I mean, clearly this is a ruin here. Not rocking many souls. Do I just risk? I mean, let's see what happens, right? Ooh. Really need to get behind him. Get another backstab in. Crap. That's no good. Well, Headless, if I'm going to take the heat, you gotta... There you go. So we've seen, this is the second time we've sort of seen like this sort of blood thing going on. One was at that camp in the middle of the road a few sessions ago. Oh, interesting. What's that? Guessing it's a weapon? Dagger, maybe? Okay, it's a heavy thrusting sword. It's not doing crazy amounts of blood buildup, but I'm curious what that Dynast's Finesse is for its special power. Maybe it's like a rapid multi-poke or something. Anyway, as I was saying, I sort of installed Morrowind. I thought I'd take a look at some of the... I'm curious about some of the mods to see how that works. Oh, see, I thought they were all those blobs, not a... Oop. Probably don't want to mess with that at the moment. I was really just getting distracted again. Let's take a look at... Nope, I can't check the map. Okay, we're still going the right way. That's good. I'm kind of curious, though, if those guys were actually guarding something up to the right. Does seem to be something going on here. But that's for another time. This is interesting. Broken down. So my understanding is that these funeral caravans come from the main city. Again, this understanding coming from probably Bonfireside chat. Whoa. So here you can see like those royal soldiers, they look like they've actually gotten their ass kicked here. And it's getting, so, you know, there was talk about something being under the Raya Lucaria Academy that could transport you to the Volcano Manor. That thing swinging its sort of giant halberd hands is the thing that you're looking for under the Academy to take you here. I've always found them very difficult. I find them difficult because I feel like the way their sort of weak spot is also something that can sort of kill you pretty quickly. Is he hiding? Huh. There's a ton of these. I'm just going to go for it because I really don't think I can, especially not 3 of them. You can see things are starting to take a very dark turn here. Oh, crap. That's not good. Okay, I gotta get my eyes on this invader. That's embarrassing. Also embarrassing. I just lost 10,000 souls. Let's see if there's like a stake of Marika, or is it back at the bonfire and I'm just going to run for it. Now I'm wondering if this is a good time to deploy the twig once I get my souls back, because it's not enough for a level, but I can't remember if I was running short on... I can't remember if I ran out of money when I was last trying to upgrade. Oh, this is interesting. Assuming I don't die and lose 10,000 souls. So yeah, it looks like there's some kind of, obviously, a fight going on between now. I think the problem is that I'm trying to get back on the road. And I'm not sure that's going to take me where I'm looking to go. Looks like some kind of fort that's barely hanging on here. Okay, I gotta... Well, you know what? Let's get this bonfire. At least I can bounce back here if I need to. That 7's a good pull, but the others I was like, this seems kind of low for... Oh, is that the one I needed for... I always thought it was interesting, these, you know, these people, they sort of find their spots to look at the giant tree, and that's how they choose to pass away. Now, I feel like I really want to get back down on that road, even though it's going to be tricky. So being able to do this, I don't think was in the original... Definitely not in Demon Souls, the original. I don't know if it was in the original Dark Souls. But oh my god, is it handy. I think they've since added it to the new Demon Souls. Alright, let's deal with these things. Now, was that a one? No, I was about to say, was it a one-time invasion? The fact that I can't get on my horse makes me believe that it's going to happen again. I was going to try and get clever and get a sneak attack in, but I think I'm going to just do this legit. It's interesting that, like, her jump attack, I can't... It's interesting, like, her jump attack doesn't get affected by my sort of sweeping attack. I thought I cleared all the dogs out on this side, though. That's a little disappointing. So somewhere up here, there's all these windmill villages. Or unless that's the windmills I was looking at from the other... No, I don't think so. Hopefully I can get on my horse and get out of here before... All right, let me see if I can do a little better clearing. Got that one there. I don't know if there's any others. Okay. I feel like another one came out from the woodwork somewhere. So the tricky thing is when you're trying to lock on, if you don't have anything, sometimes it'll sort of spin you around a little bit, like rotate you 180 degrees, which is throws me off a little bit. There's that. I assume the invasion's going to come in at any moment. I wonder if I can get an attack in. Well, sort of. I don't know if that was worth it, though. Nope, crap, that's not good. That's not good. That's not good. Damn it. That was frustrating. Very frustrating. And I can't blow past her, really, because I lose the ability to get on torrent. And at the same time, I feel very determined to get this map for some reason. Well, I mean, that's half what these games are, right? Like, you gotta pick your own goals. So let's see. Let's give it another shot. Just saw I might have been almost peaking a second ago. I'd had my, I mean, you don't notice it because I can always bump it up in post, but I've been having some really low audio levels when like people are chatting with me on Discord and stuff like that. And so I was sort of going through things, and for some reason, like my microphone, there's sort of like two places where you can set your microphone export levels. And one place I had turned on to 90, but the other place was still at like 46 or something weird like that. So I'm hoping this solves the issue with other people, but now I'm starting to get really hot levels. That's no good. All right, let's again be a little methodical about the dogs. There's one, but I feel like there should be one more. There was the big one, like the tougher one that I just beat. And then there was another one that I beat around here. Maybe that's it right there. Okay, so trying to deal with it. I want to make sure I'm dealing with this invasion as much in the open as possible, but not attracting the attention of that dog over there. I mean, is it worth it? Okay, at least we're out in the open a little bit. I was curious if I could. Nope, that's the same goddamn... I had that one. I had that one. All right, let's see what happens again. I didn't remember this invasion on the road there, so I figured I could just sort of torrent past anything I encountered and hope for the best. At least those things, the swinging halberd machines, don't seem to be too much of a problem to get away from. Okay. This one's the tougher one, I think. Yeah, it's a 3-hit. Its coloration looked a little different too. I am racking, and like, so, okay, so this is a level. So Let me put the twig on. Because if I die this time, then at least I'll get a level out of it. Probably not this. Well, I was going to say, I don't know if it's the best use of these, but maybe I'll get another one. This was a little stupid in some ways because trying to get clear of her was a little... Figure as soon as I get lock on, I can attack her, so... Nope, 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 get back. Nope, that didn't work out at all. Okay, all right. This actually is good. If she finishes with her leap attack and I just stay away from it. There we go. Sacred butchering knife. I wonder what that's like. Not sure where it would be. Seems like a pretty... I know it's described as a knife, but it seems like a pretty heavy... Well, is that it? Doesn't look... Okay, it's considered a great axe, so that's something. But it doesn't look amazing overall. It does holy damage. Okay, that's interesting. And barbaric roar is its power. Not sure what that gets you, but... I'm going to keep the twig, just in case I do something intensely stupid. Or get surprised somehow by, like... Or I just die here staring at a broken bridge. So that makes me wonder if the only way to go is across the top then. Which, I was about to say I could just climb, but I don't have to climb the ladder. Just fast travel. You know what? Let's just take care of business before I get too much further. Well, and I've also picked up some runes. So let me burn those and see if that gets me another level. Yeah, it's equipment. That's what I want. Nope, but not equipment. I want inventory. It's a decent start. As always, my fear is I'm going to basically come up just short and be running around. Is that enough? I feel like it's in that ballpark. Nope, not quite. This should do it, hopefully. Nope, the worst. It's exactly what I didn't want to do. Is that enough? Please, please, please. Get me just across the... Yes. Perfect. That's perfect. All right. I gotta say, that health bar doesn't feel that long, though. It took me the longest time to realize why the certain skulls glowed and certain ones didn't. But yeah, if you run them over with your horse or break them open, there's a golden rune in there. So yeah, I just murdered that guy who was trying to either help or mourn his fallen comrade. So are we the bad guys? Oop, didn't get them both. So now what I need to do is I need to take my twig off and get back to the backstab. But I do enjoy like sort of bit of storytelling, the environmental storytelling where these guys aren't paying attention to me. They're sort of seeing to their fallen. This one looks like he's actually flat out grieving. It's not going to stop me from systematically murdering the whole camp, but did I get them all? Nice. I didn't know if that would work. Now, Beast Blood, I wonder if it has, there was something very similar in Bloodborne. I'm wondering if it has like a similar effect where it sort of throws you into a bit of a frenzy. Be careful I don't just roll right off a cliff, which is what I almost did. That's the road that's the road we must have. That's where we had the fight. Okay. Okay, that looks like a real thing. Can't summon help. And it's already on. Okay. Oh, and lightning. Now this is something that's like volcanic stone. Yeah, I don't know what you use it for, but... Oh, it's another guy. Alright, so let's see if I get bombarded on my way up, or did I take care of everybody? I haven't climbed too many towers. I think there was one in the Weeping Peninsula, maybe, that I dealt with, but I don't think I've dealt with one of these structures yet in this run. Oop, don't fall off the ladder. ragdoll physics. Oh, interesting. That's interesting. Whatever's up there has got that like extra glow going on to it. I'm not sure what that is. It's interesting. Usually with camps like this in other parts of the world, you can summon headless. Here I wasn't able to. So this again looks like maybe a developer's message. Rainbow stones lead the way to riches. Now what rainbow stones let you do... Well, it's a couple of things they let you do. First of all, it lets you know if... I think it lets you know if something's too high, like if a drop is too high and it'll kill you. I don't know if I have rainbow stones, but the other thing they can let you do is if you throw it somewhere and there's like an invisible bridge, it will sort of land on it and let you know it's there. So that seems like a weird pro tip just to have in the middle of nowhere. Unless... But I'm not sure where it would go. Like, it's not going to just go out that way. It's not going to lead to riches that way. There's something up here. But up here, you can just keep going. So I don't quite understand where to potentially use the... I feel like I can get to wherever I need to go from that point. Unless it's just pointing out these rainbow. So yeah, maybe they realized players weren't getting the hint. As I ironically talk about players not getting the hint as I completely leave the intended path. Is that a wolf? I wonder if the rainbow stones, maybe there was something in particular the players are missing. Because I don't remember the rainbow stones being there. So maybe they felt like they had to mark it. All right, so the question is, are there more, or did we run out of... That was the last one that I saw. I think. Unless it was trying to lead you to this building. Okay, that looks like a way back, but not a way forward. Well, what's the worst that could happen? Okay, so that means there's something here that's going to give us death root. If we're able to kill it. Now, grave usually means... you can get ashes, maybe? Well, no, we've been getting ashes... Oh, that's ominous. Okay, so this is going to be... I don't know if I'm going to do this right now, but this is going to have, most likely, these chariots that will, like, insta-kill you if you don't get to the side. You can sort of see it forming at the bottom. Yep, there you go. And these dungeons in particular are difficult. Should have kept the twig once I realized what I was dealing with. Let me give it a shot trying to get... Basically, the smart thing to do is just let the chariot take out the skeletons. All I have to do is... do that. Make sure I kill him. And then get out of here. Okay, at least that'll be... okay. Now, there are ways to kill these things. It usually involves... oh, it only... okay. It usually involves dropping something onto it. Usually there's like some part of the structure that you can knock down sometimes, and one of them is sort of this clever puzzle where you involve light and shadow, and when you shine lights on stuff, it gets to be... okay, so that's where I got to get to. It gets to be... I'm a little nervous that... really not making progress here. I'm just bouncing back and forth between these two. Okay, here we go. Gotta run, though. Nope, it's not even close. I might have to let the... you know what I can... well, you know what I can do? It's what I should have done the first time. It's not how I wanted to spend it, because this is kind of dumb, but this is how it's going to go, I guess. Maybe you can... okay, well that deals with that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to definitely mark this down as need to be done. But these chariot ones in particular are a real hassle. I'm starting to realize we never did the dungeon that's right at the beginning of the game when you first come out of the starting area. And I think the reason why I'm recalling that now is because I think that one might involve chariots. It's one of those things where like there's a dungeon right when you first walk into the game, but you don't want to do it because of that. All right, so let me mark this. Oh, let me get out first. So maybe that's what that was trying to mark. Now the reason why I still have hopes that I can figure out how to get to the map, but I'm starting to feel like that might not be in the cards. Because I'm not sure, like this was a dead end, right? You can see sort of in the artwork there's a gap. And I'm not sure how to get to the other side. Are there gravestones? Nope. There's something going on over there, so maybe there's a way around that way. I guess I could see the developer message you're so focused on there that it makes you realize you're going to miss something off to the left. This doesn't seem to... So again, like the Lord of the Rings vibe sort of... That's not good. The Lord of the Rings vibes kind of continue here because, or at least Lord of the Rings Online, I feel like I'm sort of going into Angmar. That didn't work very well. Haven't beaten one of these yet, and this one seems like it's harder. Nope. It's like, oh, let me roll through it, work the first time, and then... Oh, interesting. They have sort of this young face in there. I wasn't expecting that. Looking for something that might protect me from basic damage. Because I don't think I'm going to be getting any backstabs. Okay. Try this. At least I'll have some more stamina. Actually, that's going to get annoying. I'm going to run into... Nope. I think I might have just lost 11,000 souls. Not that that's the most important thing here, but I wasn't paying attention to getting my souls back from the last failure. What are we coming up on? We're coming up on almost an hour. I might, let's give this a little bit more, but then if this doesn't happen, I might stop here. At some point, I feel like I got to be able to take these things out, so. Do something. So now I'm worried about that because I have a feeling that even if I block it, it's going to do some holy or lightning damage through. So I'm trying, again, like rolling into it seems to, oops, that's no good. I'm not happy about the debris on the ground. It seems a little... That could have been much worse. I wasn't that hurt, but that feels like just a little for safety. Looks like the the buffing has run its course, so that might help a little bit. Just have to not do something stupid, he says, as he probably does something stupid. Did I do it? Nope, not yet. Drink. Jump. There we go. I have to remember that when I get caught up on debris like that, I can jump. I get so sort of ingrained that you're sort of stuck when you're not quite. I'm glad to know, well, it's not an assured thing that that is at least possible. Yeah, I wonder if you could have gotten up on a rock or something and it couldn't really hit you. But we're making progress, and this is, you know, this is not a joke of an area. This is a tough area. So, and we were making progress in all ways except for the main story. That continues to be the case, but that looks like something, though. Oh no, I can't use my bow and arrow. That's okay. Let's stop for a minute. Maybe that's what the ranged battle business was about. So let's start changing out my equipment. Start with that. Let's get this back to that. Let's see if I can do my bow. Still a medium load. Okay, let's see how bad this goes. That thing looks like it's flies, has fire. Try rolling through it. That went poorly. It's interesting. Some of the lava in this game, like in older games, it's like an insta-kill. In this game, you can actually run through some parts of lava and not get too badly hurt, but that completely... Now I wonder if that thing comes... Oh, boo. That's not where I want to be. Was there not a bonfire up there? I guess I never triggered one if there was. But yeah, the graves are a specific type of dungeon. Like, you want to do them because their reward is different than just a typical dungeon. And I'm not recalling why, but I remember hearing that somewhere. Yeah, I'm really near peaking. I'm barely talking. Right now I'm talking to an SM7B. It's not a, it's not a super sensitive microphone. And I've got, well, I guess I'll be curious to see how this goes. Like if there's a lot of hiss or anything. I've been having some, I don't know if issues are the right word, but like I'm sort of nitpicky. So when I can hear sort of what seems like self noise from a microphone, I get kind of annoyed. Annoyed is a strong word, but I start wondering, okay, what can I do? And I have the last couple of ones I've used the Lewitt 440 CT Pure. And, and again, like you might be wondering, like, if you're happy with the sound, why did you change? It's because I've had this SM7B for a while, and I've never gotten it to where I was quite happy with it. And right now I think I might be getting there. And let's see if I have to, was that just a one-time fight? Hopefully that was just a one-time. Yeah. And so I've had a couple of different interfaces. I've had the Elgato Wave XLR, and it's interesting. Like it's not onboard DSP, it's software DSP that uses your processor. I was like, okay, it's probably not the most consuming processes, but I wanted to get away from it a little bit because I do a lot of, computer or CPU intensive stuff. And so I was like, okay, let me see if I can get as much of my CPU free as possible. And the Elgato Wave, the tools are powerful. I'm going to try this again. This is stupid, but the tools are powerful, but I just could never quite. So what I'm going to basically want him to do is drop his lava load and then see what he has left. He's got it's probably some bleed weapons going on. He's got some cocaine going on. Okay. I have a feeling those things are going to be all over this area, and I got to be careful. So with the Wave XLR, I just, well, no, I should take this back. This was earlier, before Elgato released their own, they did a really good job with the EQ plugin, their own EQ plugin. And it was also great because it had a capacitor button on the back that acted as a mute, which, you can set up certain things to just be like a Discord mute, but to have like a system-wide mute is really handy. And the nice thing about it, which I don't know if people know this, people don't know this, probably they do, but you can plug in the Wave XLR to a PlayStation 4 or 5, and it will let you use your regular microphone on your PlayStation for chat. That's sort of been one of the unicorn things I've been after, was getting that, because I, sometimes play on a console, sometimes play on a computer. The next interface I tried actually is probably the best one for my purposes for most of it. And it was a Lewitt Connect 6. Now the Lewitt Connect 6 was really great because it had good EQ features. It had, it was a good interface. Okay, this guy needs to calm down. But what it lacked was, again, it seems stupid, but a mute button. So I'd set up an Elgato Stream Deck, whatever the new one is, that lets you get the audio software. So it was kind of dumb. Like I had a Lewitt Connect 6 with its interface software going into the Stream Deck, Elgato Stream Deck, with its Wavelink software. And it worked well. But again, the one thing I couldn't figure out how to do was to mute my microphone system-wide. I could do it for Discord. You're supposed to be able to do it for Zoom, but it didn't always work consistently. But like when I'm doing something like this, and if I need to mute, like I would have been out of luck. So there's a couple of those things there. Now, let me see if I can kite one at a time. Okay, that's not too bad. So, you know, then what I invested in was like a physical sort of mute button. That sort of drops your gain down by like negative 60 dB. So it's not like a true mute, but it sort of did the trick. But again, you know, sort of like the interesting thing is that like you would pick it up on mic when, you know, you press the button. So
Welcome, dear customer. Yes, right this way. Right this way.
see up. Yeah, but where though? Am I missing something? Oh, there we go. So before I do that, let me just make sure I'm not missing something over here. But anyway, so yeah, Lewitt Connect 6. Well, I guess I have to drop down to talk to him. Maybe he's got I got some money, so maybe it's not a bad time to see what he has for sale.
Welcome, valued customer. Come, trade in our wandering emporium. Please, buy something. I'm hungry. I've been hungry so long. Please?
I'll definitely pick up a cookbook. So I'm not sure how this compares to what I'm carrying. I mean, again, half the time it's Fashion Souls. You know, does it look... You like the look of it? I can't afford to get the set, though. So Fashion Souls dictates that I not buy any of it. So anyway, yeah, the Connect 6, and the other thing that's really great about a Connect 6 is that it had a second USB-C plug that was meant for mobile, but again, you could use it at least on the PlayStation 5. So I could set my Lewitt Connect to basically let me use my mic to talk on the PlayStation 5 if I wanted to, and control my PlayStation audio with my Elgato Stream Deck. Does this all sort of go to the same place? So it was sort of a nice compromise, but again, not having a mute was kind of a big deal. So we're sort of getting back on the road. Can I? Nope, I need to get down. Nope, this is madness going on. All right. These guys are all mad. And for some reason, I had some difficulty. So I want to go south to get back on the road. But I'm pretty high up, so I'm not sure it's actually going to mean anything. I'm a little nervous that this is just sort of a total madness area. Now up there is some swords. There's going to have like a bit of... I don't know if there's anything to collect, but it means that there's like a... commemorating a battle that took place. And it gives you a little bit of lore. If you can get to the big sword. Okay, so yeah, some craziness going on there. There's a bonfire. The Luid Connect 6, you know, was almost perfect in some ways. Luid Connect 6 with the new Stream Deck from Elgato was even closer, but in the end, it just wasn't. So I can tell you what's up there. You remember, I think we encountered a falling star beast. So that's what's up here. And we're not going to deal with that. Did I get to the... Nope, I didn't. Oh, I did. So yeah, the other one was not the real deal. That's the full-grown falling star beast. And now that I'm remembering, that might not be... Yep. So it was stupid. Basically, I was I was trying to see if there's another spot I should have been jumping from, but that's it. That's where I want to jump from. So these things are a nightmare. They're really tough to kill. You got to hit them in certain spots, maybe around the tail or in the head. They do tons of damage. They have range attacks. They have close attacks. Everything about them is tough. So what you do here is you just make a break for it. If I can... And then you should be okay. And down there is an invisible something. Now, granted, I'm probably attracting the attention of every single... I'll definitely take this. So yeah, the Luid Connect 6 in conjunction with the Elgato thing was pretty close to being what I was looking for. But again, the mute really threw me. You know, and so what I'm messing with now, and this is probably egregious, but does it come around? Nope. Okay. Let me go to this one. I have a Rodecaster Pro, Rodecaster Pro 2, and so far, so good. It gives me the sort of system-wide mute of the microphone I'm looking for. It uses actual faders, which is something I'm used to from what I've used at work and in the office. For my job, I've usually had, when I've had audio control, it was often with mechanical faders, so that's kind of a nice touch. I think I've been able to get the microphones I use to sound pretty good so far. So I'm sort of... The Luid, I was really able to get the RE20 to sound really... Nope, that's not what I'm looking to deal with. That's what's so creepy about him. You sort of see these like fingernails hanging out of the rock, and then next thing you know. This one's going to shoot magic. Not sure where I'm trying to go, actually. I'm running around like... some kind of ghost. I was able to get the RE20 to sound really good. The SM7B I was never able to get to sound really good on the Luid. Now on the Rode, I've been able to get my Luid LCT 440 Pure to sound pretty good. I've been using that the last couple of videos. It's got really low self noise, which is what I really like about it. I don't hear any hiss when I'm like putting these together in my headphones. This one, I still hear some hiss, and so I'm kind of curious what's up with that. So, we'll see if I can work on that, but it nags me. But anyway, let's take a look at the map, and then I think we're going to call this one. So I think now, yes, we have filled in that entire section. Where are we? We're here. So there's, I guess, the Volcano Manor. Very literal and on the nose naming. I guess that's which direction? South? So is it up there? All right. Must be up there. And this must be the rest of the road that was across the broken bridge. I guess they let you summon to... I wonder if it's for the hands or for whatever's down there. But anyway, we'll call it there, and we'll pick it up again next time. Thanks again, and take it easy.